In this tutorial, I will be covering backtesting. Now, if you're an absolute beginner, you might have heard the term backtesting being thrown around, but might not know exactly what it means. In a nutshell, backtesting is the process of applying your trading strategy to historic market data. In other words, it's you just going back in time and applying your trading strategy to see how it performs. Okay? Now, traditionally, people just use trading charting platforms rather to do the backtest. But the issue with that is you don't necessarily have the means to track the performance of your trading strategy over time, unless if you're going to do it manually by with pen and paper, etc. Okay, so using Tradyse, we have a built-in backtest feature that enables you to do exactly that, but in a very intuitive way. Now, when you hop onto the platform, simply click on backtest. You'll be presented with all the backtests that you've done in the past. You can essentially edit them or delete them. But if this is your first time doing it, it will obviously be empty and you won't see all of this, okay? All you have to do is click on start a new backtest, name it whatever you want. Let's say new backtest. And then you just assign an initial balance. It really doesn't matter or make a difference, okay? Start a new backtest, and you'll be presented with this window or this page. Now, it will seem a bit complex, but just bear with me. Everything will make sense in just a second. The logic behind backtesting is going back in time. So it wouldn't make sense for you to obviously pick the present day to do the backtest for, okay? So let's say we're going back to the 4th of November. You can go as far back as you'd like. Right now in the test version, which you guys will have access to right now, the data goes all the way back to 2020, but the full-on version of the Tradyse platform will go as far back as the year 2000. So it's a lot of data. You can play around with it as much as you want. And yeah, we're just doing this to help you guys sharpen your trading strategy, essentially. Now, click on the date, and then you'll be prompted to choose an instrument. So let's say for this purpose, I will be backtesting with GBP USD. You just click start, and then give it a few seconds. It'll basically just go back in time, scan, and then provide you with the alerts, okay? If you don't know how the alerts work, I'd advise you go watch the tutorial that I explain how the alerts work, okay? Now, at the top here, you obviously have the dates and the instruments. To the right of that is your risk management. So some people trade with risk management that works in percentage, meaning for every dollar that they risk, so for every loss they take that costed them $1, their risk to reward ratio is, let's say, 1:5. So for every dollar, they want to gain $5, okay? So you can either work in percentage, so if for every 1% you gain 5%, or you can switch it to dollar value, where you just say for every $5, for every $1 I want to gain $5. That's how your strategy works. So just depending on how your strategy works, you just configure it accordingly. So, but for the sake of this tutorial, I'll leave it at percentage. To the right will be stats, which you'll see updates in real time. But here at the bottom here, you'll see your risk to reward ratio based on the numbers that you input here, okay? Now, below that, to the left, you'll see the instrument you selected, which will be GBP USD in our example, alerts, and then the date, okay? So let's say you want to trade this alert, okay? So click on it, you'll see the data, the possible targets, and if you select it, it'll be highlighted in blue. That means whatever you do from here going forth, as in add profit or add a loss, will be linked to this specific alert, okay? So let's say you've taken this information, let's say possible reversals, all this data, and you've gone back in time and did the analysis, and let's say you figured your trading strategy resulted to a profit using this alert. So you'll just input add profit, okay? And you'll see the charts will update. Let's say we go to the 5th, right? We scan quickly and we get updated data, okay? So this day was very bullish. So let's say, let's skip this one. Let's go for the morning alerts, click on it. And let's say we made a loss for whatever reason, right? So we click on add loss, and you'll see the chart will update as you go with your backtest, Okay, and it saves in real time, so in case if anything happens, don't worry, the data is stored. You can just go back and you'll find it. Okay, but we decided to take it a step further and do two things. One, which currently in the test version that you guys will have is not available, but in the full on version will be available, is an AI analyzer. So based on your performance of your backtest, you'll be able to just request a report, right, an analysis, and the AI will tell you, hey, you're performing really well, for example, with this instrument, but your trading strategy sucks with, for example, trading gold. So it helps you make a more informed decision to see, hey, why not focus on the things that your trading strategy is performing best at instead of, trading multiple instruments and having a lower net profit. Okay. So it basically just gives you feedback on your strategy. So right now in the test version, it's not there. But one thing that is there is included that is extremely powerful is you pretty much never have to leave the Tradyse platform. So if you see here by performance, you can just toggle this and it'll automatically switch to the instruments that you've already selected. Okay, so let's say we are on the 5th, right? So we're just going to quickly go back in time to the 5th, and then you can basically just do your analysis right here, right? Let's say drawing trend lines or whatever your trading strategy is. To be honest, if you need indicators or anything like that, you can add them and play around with it. And you can basically come here and say, okay, my trading strategy, for example, let's say this resulted to a profit. Okay, cool. Let me add profit, right? And what you'll notice is you'll see the tick there. And the reason why you see that tick popped up here is because if you're in the other mode, you'll see the changes happening in real time. But if you're on the chart, you might not necessarily see the chart. So that's just a way for you to see that, hey, whatever record that you inputted was recognized. Okay. So we advise you go back in time as far as you can, play around with this, try multiple instruments. Right now in the test version, there are about 15 to 20 instruments that are the most popular ones you can play around with, and just perfect your strategy as much as possible. So when you're actually using Tradyse in real time, you are more informed and you are on top of your game and your strategy will shine. So that's it for the backtesting. If you have any questions, feel free to drop us a text